So it's getting close to the time where Stellar Blade is set to release, and with it, there has been a lot of drama, hate, and even a bit of love when it comes to the perception of the game. So in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about my personal perspective of Stellar Blade. A lot of this is my impression from the demo that recently released to the PS Store, but just want to do my due diligence as a creator and set the record straight among the heavy amounts of buzz leading into the launch of Stellar Blade. Just keep in mind, we're doing a giveaway for 2 copies of Stellar Blade. The winner will be announced a few days before the launch to give you guys a little bit of a time to download the game. All you need to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are on Stellar Blade. Doesn't need to be anything specific, just something Stellar Blade related. And good luck, guys. I think the first question I think most players would want to know is Stellar Blade a good game or worth investing into? I think for me personally, there's a few factors that so far has me thinking that Stellar Blade is worth the buy. Now early on, back when the game was first revealed, I was a bit torn on whether the game was actually a really good game or a shameless cash grab. At the time, there were a lot of games with just a hot model and not really any substance. This specific caution has nothing to do with Stellar Blade or Shift Up specifically, but for me as a gamer who spent my hard-earned money in 2024, it's not always easy to tell when the game is genuinely a quality game or just a product being pushed for as much sales revenue as possible. Look at games like The Day Before, which to me looked like a pretty obvious scam, and within a week of release, the game was already pulled. This even extends to games like Starfield, headed by arguably one of the best studios, Bethesda. A game that was selling endless possibilities, but in reality sold endless loading screens. So again, I'm always cautious on new releases, especially on studios that have no proven track record of good game releases. With all that said, over the years, Shift Up did show time and time again that they were committed to a solid release, and in the recent Sony State of Play, where they had a pretty solid showcase of what Stellar Blade had to offer. And to be honest, after watching it at State of Play, I was pretty much sold that Shift Up is in fact creating a quality game in every sense of the word. Recently, we were given access to a pretty sizable demo for the game, which I'd like to point out did nothing but positive things for Stellar Blade in my eyes. I think it gave us just enough of a showcase to know what to expect from the game. We saw some of the skill trees, we got familiar with some of the combat systems, we experienced a pretty diverse set of monsters, we even jumped in and faced off against a few bosses. Everything I think a demo should include without giving too much away. It was a great balance, especially adding in with the solid cutscenes and pretty phenomenal soundtrack. You basically had a recipe for a solid game. While we haven't gotten a full release yet, and it may be a bit hard to make the determination of if this will remain the case when the game actually launches, performance was great. I played at 60 FPS and didn't have a stutter of any sort. I'd like to point out though, it is a bit of a shame that in 2024 the standard for gaming is so low that we do praise games for actually performing on the system it was meant for. That doesn't take away from Stellar Blade or Shift Up, because it seems like they actually do what a lot of AAA studios that have been around since I was a kid seem to still can't get right, and that is release a game with good performance. But I digress. Now, I'm not a gamer, content creator, or person in general that just panders to the audience that I speak to. There's already way too many PS5 content creators who do that anyway, so let me be honest here. Do I think Stellar Blade is going to be Game of the Year contender? Well, given the amazing list of releases thus far and soon to come, I don't know if I can say reliably that it's going to be on that list. It very well could be, but likely we'll see it in some type of subcategory like soundtrack or something like that. But here's the thing, that's actually alright. Most gamers these days aren't really looking for the next big Game of the Year contender. Of course, when we get a God of War or Baldur's Gate, it's always a treat, but I think most of us, we just want a quality game we can jump into and not have to worry about microtransactions plaguing the game not performing, and ideally the studio not pandering to us. At the end of the day, I'm a fan of the game, not only because of the reasons mentioned above, but the simple fact that Shift Up is simply making a quality game, and that's all I really care about. So going back to the main question at hand, is the game worth buying? With what we've seen thus far, I'd say yes, but with the release around the corner, we won't have to wait too much longer to actually get the clear answer if the game's worth it. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down in the comments on Stellar Blade and if you're going to be picking it up. Don't forget to enter in on the giveaway if you're interested, and I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one very soon.